why God has made sufferings. Every suffering will not lead you to God.
How do we deep dive into the first chapter now?
So the idea of the first chapter is Krishna was about to put Arjuna in illusion. When person suffers and he starts questioning his life, am I right? There is no scripture recommending killing of Guru. It's the greatest sin. You cannot do in any condition. But now you're asking me to kill my Guru. Why did he make bad things? To help us learn something from that.
The last podcast with Dr. Keshavananda Swami, we understood an overview of Bhagavad Gita and we also understood that it is divided into 3 parts with 6 chapters each. Now let us go deep diving into each chapter. So let us start with Bhagavad Gita Chapter 1, which is also called as Arjuna Vishad Yoga. Hare Krishna Swami.
Hare Krishna.
So Arjuna Vishad Yoga is what is the name of the first chapter, right?
Yeah.
So we just want to know that why did his mind get confused after reaching a battlefield? Because he was, already you started a game, but then you came with an intention of fighting.
Yeah.
But he reached a battlefield and suddenly he is baffled. So,
according to Gaudiya Vaishnava understanding, Arjuna tells Krishna in the middle of the chapter, Ratham sthapim achyuta.
yes,
Please take my chariot in the middle.
yes,
And then if you read the verses carefully, it is said Krishna smiled slightly.
okay,
Now, Gaudiya Vaishnavacharya's comment on this, that why he smiled?
okay,
Because Krishna was about to put Arjuna in illusion.
oh,
Yeah. Arjuna is a pure devotee, by the way.
okay,
So, he becoming confused, that's not
acceptable.
acceptable.
And that's not reality either.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Krishna has to speak Gita through somebody.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he can't choose Duryodhan to speak Bhagavad Gita. He doesn't do anything with Duryodhan.
Okay.
So he chose Arjuna, he was his best friend.
Hmm.
And he put Arjuna into illusion momentarily, so that Arjuna asks questions pertaining to us, like us, and Bhagavad Gita will be delivered to the entire world.
Okay. So was it a role play?
He was put into illusion, so he was thinking that I am a conditioned soul.
Okay. So it wasn't a role play. He was genuinely put into a
He was
Yogamaya
genuinely put
illusion.
Yogamaya.
Yogamaya covered him.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he forgot
illusion.
his actual position.
Yeah. Momentarily he forgot.
Okay.
This is technically called as, if you read Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures, this is technically called as Murchit Kashaaya.
Murchit Kashaaya.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means a state where an eternally liberated soul,
Okay.
he falls into illusion momentarily due to the interference of God, not Maya.
Okay. And why does God interfere in that?
Yeah, just through Arjuna, he wanted to actually deliver Bhagavad Gita to the entire world.
Okay.
Or maybe like we see Srimad Bhagavatam, Devarshi Narad is there. There's example Devarshi Narad. He in previous lives he became a maid servant's son, and he forgot he's Narad.
Okay.
So, but Narad, we know he's a liberated soul.
Yeah, he's a great saint.
But he was put into illusion so that through him we can learn how to do devotion to Krishna, how to advance. So like this, these are called Murchit Kashaaya.
Okay. So in this it is a Murchit Kashaaya.
Yeah.
According to Gaudiyas.
Yeah.
So that it can now, Lord has interfered in his life and he has put him in illusion. So that the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita can be given to the world.
Yeah.
That answers the entire Arjuna Vishad Yoga. So the Vishada is technically not a Vishada. The Vishada is an illusion created by God.
By God, yeah.
Okay.
That's the whole point there.
Now, from a receiver's perspective now, to whom he has delivered to the world, but all the questions that Arjuna asked were very logical from a material paradigm. From the time, place, circumstances of that particular age, he asked all logical questions, right? So, nothing can be negated out of it. So it's all basically an illusion that has been created on his mind. Like we all are also illusioned, thinking the real-time problems are, big problems. And so how do we deep dive into the first chapter now?
See, one point is, Vishad Yoga, the name Vishad Yoga is there, am I right?
Yes.
The name Vishad Yoga is actually, Vishad means what?
Sorrow?
Yeah, Vishad means sorrow.
Yes.
So what, and yoga means connection.
Yes.
So the idea of the first chapter is that they're trying to connect through sorrow.
Okay.
Vishad Yoga.
Yes.
So sometimes in our life, sorrows are the cause of approaching God.
Yeah.
Isn't it? वो
Yes.
कहते हैं ना, दुख में स्मरण सब करें, सुख में स्मरण करे ना कोई वो.
Yes.
So Krishna is trying to teach through Arjuna that there are sufferings in this world and there's a purpose to these sufferings.
Oh.
And the purpose of sufferings is to bring you back to God.
Okay.
When person suffers, then he starts questioning his life. Am I right?
Yeah.
Starts questioning what is happening, why it is happening.
Hmm.
All these questions come.
Yeah. Questions come basically because of suffering. We think
Yeah,
when we are
yeah.
suffering.
Otherwise, we are enjoying.
Yeah.
That is why it begins with this chapter, Vishad Yoga. When Arjuna is suffering,
Hmm.
he's put into illusion and it starts thinking, I am suffering. I have to kill my relatives. I have to kill my Bhishma, who is like a father and a guru.
Hmm.
What to do? It's a precarious situation. I have to kill my own dynasty, my brothers.
Yes.
And he's a good man and he doesn't want to kill the entire dynasty. He's also thinking there's so many innocent people dying on the battlefield.
Yes.
So he's not feeling good.
Okay.
So then in that condition, various questions come to his mind.
Hmm.
Similarly, Krishna is teaching us, when we suffer, don't become depressed.
Hmm.
Because sufferings actually suffering is a friend.
Suffering is a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because in suffering we ask questions, we approach God naturally for help and yoga, and it helps to connect with God. So that is the importance and secret of Vishad Yoga for the first chapter.
And suffering gets humility also in a person.
Yeah, of course. I mean, suffering gets humility. That's why suffering, devout people want to. To say they become humble. They go to temple. They go to,
Yeah.
they ask people, what to do in their suffering. Otherwise, who asks others advices? So this is an important point in Vishad Yoga, that why God has made sufferings. It's a big question in philosophy.
Yes.
And that is answered in first chapter.
Great.
Why there is suffering in this world.
So this makes it very clear that suffering is very mandatory to a human beings.
Yeah.
Else we can never, understand few things in life.
Yeah. We can never approach God. We can never start approaching God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sufferings make us approach God.
Yeah.
But with what attitude we need to approach God?
Well, to say at least when you suffer, then at least even if you don't have a proper attitude, still
it is okay.
To begin with, to say at least you begin to think about spiritual dimension of God. It's something you start to think, no?
Yes, agreed.
That's okay. At least starting is there.
Okay.
That is why it's first chapter, starting Vishad Yoga.
Great. So, what else more after suffering? Then what?
Yeah. So in this chapter Vishad Yoga, what happens is Arjuna suffers. Arjuna is suffering, and the idea is why is suffering? Because there's confusion. Confusion is there.
Yes.
He's confused in his mind, what to do, what not to do, right or wrong, isn't it?
Yes.
And he comes up in that confusion. He comes up with various logics to not to fight.
Yeah, he has given up fighting technically.
Yeah, isn't it? And then Krishna says, why do you want to fight? Arjuna says, okay, why? Because there's so many innocent people will die, so many females will become widowed, and I have to kill my guru. Who kills their guru in there? Like, in fact, I've got a Vaishnavacharya's comments there as if Arjuna is asking Krishna, did you kill your guru in any of your incarnation? There is no scripture recommending killing of guru. It's the greatest thing. You cannot do in any condition.
Yeah.
But now you're asking me to kill my guru, Bhishpitama. This is a worse sin. So he says, I don't want to fight. So the idea is when your mind is confused and your mind is suffering, then naturally you will come to wrong conclusions in life. There will be questions also. What is life? What is God? What is this? but naturally, but without proper association, we will come to wrong conclusions.
Okay.
That is why in the last of the chapters, first chapter, Arjuna says, Krishna, my hands are wavering. I don't want to fight. And he prepares the mind to surrender to God, to Krishna. Krishna, you tell me what's right and wrong.
Okay.
In the second chapter beginning, he asks this question.
Yeah.
So that's the idea. So when Vishad Yoga has two aspects to it.
Okay.
One is if you're suffering and if you don't have good association, you'll go in wrong direction.
Yeah.
You'll start thinking wrong.
When we start suffering and we don't have a good association, we'll go in wrong direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you are suffering and if a good association, then you will go to right direction.
Okay. And that association here is?
So here is Krishna.
Oh. Good.
So the point is, every suffering will not lead you to God.
Yeah.
There's so many people suffering. Every suffering will not lead you to spiritual life and God. When you suffer, when you're suffering and you get in contact with a devotee,
Okay.
a wise man, then you go on the right path.
Hmm.
So that's the first chapter here. Vishad Yoga. That is the meaning of yoga. One meaning of yoga is that sufferings will take you to God.
Yeah.
Another meaning of yoga is that when you're in contact, yoga means contact with some devotee, some wise man, when you're suffering, then your life will take a good turn.
So that good man role and wise man role is played by Krishna here.
Here it is Krishna.
So he has taken shelter of Krishna so that he can navigate in that suffering in a right way.
Yeah.
Great. So what else more that this yoga tells us in Arjuna Vishad Yoga? What are other points that are important?
There are few other points which has to be taken care of. One point is that Gaudiya Vaishnava commentators comment that Arjuna is a good man.
Okay.
By heart, isn't it? That's why he's saying, I don't want to fight.
Yeah.
He's compassionate.
Yeah.
And Prabhupada writes in Bhagavad Gita, in the commentary, that's why Krishna chose Arjuna to speak Bhagavad Gita. Through him. Why didn't he choose Duryodhan?
Yeah.
He was a bad person.
Okay.
Arjuna innately was a good person. Even when he's put into illusion, he's thinking good.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. No?
That's very interesting, yeah.
He's thinking good. He's compassionate. He doesn't want to kill. He's saying, I beg. I don't want a kingdom. Even in illusion, his mind is thinking good.
Yes.
And that makes him qualified to hear Bhagavad Gita.
So that means people should be good human beings.
Yeah.
For the entry of understanding Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. If you're suffering and if you're a bad person, then you will start killing everybody. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm suffering, so let everybody suffer.
Yes.
But if you're a good man and if you're suffering, then you will say, okay, I'm suffering, but let others not suffer like me.
Yeah. Very good quality. Yes.
That's that Arjuna had.
Oh.
And that is why he was qualified to hear Bhagavad Gita. So, if you want to understand all the qualifications to understand Bhagavad Gita, pre-qualification, that's first chapter.
Great. That's another great interpretation.
Yeah, the first chapter will give you pre-qualifications. The first qualification is your life should have some kind of problems. Otherwise, you will not even think of requiring to go.
So having a problem in itself is one qualification to read Bhagavad Gita.
And along with that problem should not be solved by you. You should not be able to solve it.
Your door should be closed.
Yeah.
The problem should be like that all the doors are closed.
You should be convinced that I can't solve this problem.
There's no way I can deal with this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's called, by the way, Vishad. Because generally suffering is called as Dukkha.
Yes.
But Vishada means Dukkha with confusion. That's a technical word in Sanskrit.
Oh.
Dukkha with confusion. You are confused. How should I solve this? But you're not finding any way. That's one pre-qualification. And that's exactly the theme of Chandogya Upanishad.
Okay.
There is a verse in Chandogya Upanishad, Na asti krita kritena. There's a verse, who can approach a guru?
Okay.
And they give two pre-qualifications. One is that you are able to recognize that you are suffering, that there's suffering in your life, and you are really suffering. And the second thing is, you should be able to understand that there is no other solution to this suffering except asking somebody help.
Oh.
then you can really approach a guru and you can understand what he's saying. Otherwise, you'll not be able to understand.
Okay.
So Arjuna is put in same situation by Krishna.
Hmm.
By his illusion, he's got him suffering and he's confused and he's not able to find an answer.
Yes.
So there's qualification. He comes to that first. Second qualification to understand Bhagavad Gita is you should have a good heart.
Hmm.
You should be a good person.
It's only a good person can understand Bhagavad Gita.
By nature, you should be a good man. Otherwise, it's difficult
Hmm.
to understand Bhagavad Gita. Because everybody reads Bhagavad Gita, but everybody cannot understand. No?
Yes.
So, and the third pre-qualification is you should have a good association. Either of directly of God, whether Arjuna had, or some devotee who can actually give you right solutions at that time, right counseling at that time.
Yes.
So these three pre-qualifications are there in the first
Very
chapter.
mandatory qualifications. Here, from my understanding, Krishna did not play a role of a god, but he played a role of a guru because he is mentoring Arjuna all
Yeah,
through
yeah,
his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Vishada.
Yeah.
So, but how easy is to get that kind of a guru in this real-time problems, Swamiji?
How easy?
How easy is to find such a guru?
Yeah, yeah, you can find a guru. We have discussed what are the qualifications
Yes,
of a
yes.
guru and all these things. But you should see, the point is, you should find somebody who can explain you philosophy and Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
And you should be able to answer your questions genuinely and satisfactorily. Find a person, that's it.
But the person who is searching should also has a lot of sincerity, right?
Of course.
He should genuinely feel like, because Arjuna had that sincerity in his heart.
Yeah.
He's not able to understand, navigate. So that sincerity is very much required.
That is
So in the
required.
current Kali Yuga, you said the age of hypocrisy. How do we understand, how sincere are we seeking spirituality here?
Well, that's why sufferings are made, no? Sufferings make you sincerely seek the solutions.
Okay. So the sufferings will set you right.
Yeah.
So it will bend your attitude into a right direction.
Yeah.
So hypocrisy can't work in genuine suffering.
It can't.
Very genuine thing, yes. So no matter whoever it is, whatever he did, how crooked he is, when a real sufferings haunt him, he will become straight.
Yeah.
Great. So these are the pre-qualifications that Arjuna has demonstrated to the world, that these are your prerequisites, that you should be in a Vishada, genuinely you should have sincerity, then you should approach a genuine teacher. So these are the prerequisites. Anything else that we have to take away from this first chapter?
Well, that's it. I mean to say, that's basically it. First chapter is holistically talking all these things. Okay. But one thing is there, you see, Gita begins with Vishad Yoga.
Yes.
If you translate into English, it's Vishad means something bad, no?
Yeah.
Sorrow. Bad. It starts with
negativity.
negativity.
Negative notion, yeah.
If you talk about Bible, they released a Bible with the name Good News. Bible, the Good News there.
Yes.
But here it begins with a bad, negative incidents. A negative person. The first is Dhritarashtra. He's a negative person.
Yeah, that is also a doubt that I have, that in the entire Bhagavad Gita, why did it is God chosen that it starts with Dhritarashtra, who was completely blinded. Even from a wisdom standpoint of view, he did not exhibit great qualities of wisdom.
Yeah.
So why Dhritarashtra? Why with a
so that's a big question, no? So why negativity is there in the beginning? That's the whole point. Now Krishna is want to impress this fact on us. Don't fear negativity.
Okay.
In the modern age, it's all, be positive. Because negativity helps you to learn. Both things help you to learn. Positivity helps you to learn. Negativity is also made by God to help you to learn things. If you avoid negativity, then you will not learn in life. You will not become mature.
Yes, Swamiji. I really felt, I did not understand this very fact that Bhagavad Gita starts with such a negative person.
Yeah, it's all negative. You're right. That's
Dhritarashtra.
So that's what Krishna is trying to teach, that even bad is made by God.
Okay.
Why did he make bad things? to help us learn something from that.
Okay.
And good is also made to help you to learn. Pravrittim cha nivrittim cha ye janana vidurasura, Gita says
Yes.
later in the chapters. So both things are there. So people who avoid negativity, in this age people are positive, they avoid negativity. If you avoid negativity, then you don't learn things. You miss the whole entire chapter of life.
Okay.
And you don't become mature and wise.
Hmm.
So both things are required. And specifically negative things.
Okay.
If you're in darkness, then you can appreciate light.
Great. Yes.
So darkness is important, no?
Yeah.
It's required.
Hmm.
So similarly, if you sleep, then you become fresh when you are awake.
Yes.
Sleep is required.
Yes.
So similarly, negative things are required to appreciate good things.
Oh.
That is why Bhagavad Gita begins with negative things.
Negative things and a negative person,
Negative person.
asking.
And then, and Krishna also, and Arjuna also, when he's put into illusion, he's thinking negative. I don't want to fight.
Hmm.
And slowly Krishna will take Bhagavad Gita and he will make Arjuna positive. He'll lead it into positivity. I want to fight.
Hmm.
And his whole conception will change.
Hmm.
And then we can compare, okay. Now then we will appreciate what Krishna has given.
Superb.
What Bhagavad Gita is.
I want to add another point because it starts with Dhritarashtra saying that what are Pandu's children doing and what are my children doing. So he's not only negativity but very selfish.
Selfishness is negative.
Yeah, selfishness.
You're
yes.
right.
But he's, even at the battlefield, he's all seeing this as a match because he wants the victory on his son's side.
Yeah, that's one thing I mean to say, because you see, that's also another thing. First shloka is Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre Kim Kurvat Sanjaya. Mam ka Pandavasya Kim Kurvat Sanjaya. That's
yes.
Kshetre Kurukshetre, Dharma Kshetre Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava. That's the verse. So, first verse is selfishness. And the last verse of Bhagavad Gita is selflessness. Yat Rugeshwaro Krishna Yat Parthur Dhanurjara Tat Rishi Vijayar Bhute Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama.
Yes.
Krishna says, wherever is a devotee, there is no selfishness. There is always niti. Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Niti means selflessness.
Yes.
Proper policy.
Yes.
And first verse is selfishness. So you see the contrast. Krishna begins the Gita from selfishness and ends with selflessness.
Superb. Very good. Very different kind of understanding.
And that selflessness has to be, the real glory of selflessness is to engage it into service of God.
Superb.
That's
and very practically applicable, as you said, that negativity is also important. If you don't see negativity as negativity and just try to, this is a modern theory, like, be positive, look positive in everything. So, but then if you just fabricate a positivity out of a negativity, it doesn't benefit you really. So if you see negativity as negativity and positive as positive, it really benefits you. And negativity is actually helping you out to appreciate positive approach of life. It grooms you. So it is also very important. A very, very, very new interpretation of yours. So this is how the entire Arjuna Vishad Yoga has gone. Are there any other points that we might have missed?
There is, the depth of first chapter is infinite.
Okay.
But these are some basic points which are there, which has to be emphasized on. Another very important point here is about Guru issue.
Okay.
Because Arjuna is saying that I have to kill my Guru. He is specifically confused of this one fact. He gives many reasons, but this one reason he's not able to handle. Bhishpitama killing.
Yeah.
He's his father, he was his Guru, he was his beloved.
Yeah.
And Arjuna is thinking, Krishna, if Bhishma would not have been there, I would not have been so confused on the other side.
Okay.
Simply because he is there, and you see whole Mahabharata, Arjuna was not fighting with full valor when Bhishma was there.
Yeah, agree.
It's like that. And Krishna also makes Arjuna, he sarcastically tells Arjuna in the battlefield, Arjuna, you should fight with full valor and kill Bhishma.
Yeah.
And again, when seeing Bhishma,
there's an emotional attachment.
So, the point is, Krishna gave Arjuna an impossible task.
Yeah.
and a very difficult task.
Hmm.
And that's what the first chapter is all about. The first chapter is all about that sometimes when you have to serve God, you might have to do things which are impossible for you to do.
Okay.
And in the end, Arjuna is convinced, I will kill. You see?
Yes.
So Bhagavad Gita has a power to make you do impossible things.
Oh.
That's the whole point.
It's another good narrative.
Yeah. Which you can't think of doing even in your wildest dreams. If you read Bhagavad Gita, you have the courage to do it.
You'll get that inspiration, you'll get that power from the God.
Yeah. To
make
do it.
Impossible into possible.
Yeah. I mean to say motivational gurus can use this for mundane things. But we are talking about service of God. When we serve God, there are many things which we might think we'll not be able to do.
Yes.
But if we throughout our devotional career, if we stick to Bhagavad Gita, we'll be easily able to do many wonderful things in the service of God.
Super. Excellent narrative, Swamiji. Good insights.
Yeah.
But I know that Bhagavad Gita has many infinite things to
before we end, I just want to give a snippet here.
Yeah.
And let audience think. And, just dive deep. There's another meaning of Vishad Yoga which is completely different.
Okay.
Now, Vishada means suffering and sorrows.
Yes.
So there's another flip side that if you feel separation from God, that's suffering. That is also called suffering.
Yes.
Devotees suffer when they can't meet their beloved God and they weep. Yeah. Oh my Lord, I want to see you. I want to meet you, isn't it?
Yeah.
That suffering, Vishad Yoga, that suffering will make you connect to God very quickly, very easily. And that is why this name Vishad Yoga is also there. Okay. This is another level of meaning. Vallabhacharya, he comments on his Vallabhacharya's son's grandson. In that generation, there was Acharya Purushottam Acharya. He has written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita, Amrit Tarangini.
Okay.
And he brings this point, a different, totally different point, that you cannot connect with God when you're happy. You can connect with God when you are Vishad, when you're unhappy.
Okay.
But that unhappiness is spiritual unhappiness.
Yeah.
You're unhappy because you can't meet your beloved. And that unhappiness will help you to approach God very, very quickly, very fast.
Sincerity will be there in that.
Yes, yeah, isn't it? I told you. So,
yes.
Suffering makes you sincere.
Yes.
Whether it's mundane suffering or spiritual suffering.
Even Kunti prayers also, she says that suffering is she always wanted suffering.
Yeah, she always said, Krishna, without you, the Hastinapur looks so lonely. I please request you to stay here. At that time, when a person is departing, that time emotions are very strong, no?
Yeah.
Or if you love somebody and he's not there with you, then the emotions multiply.
Yes.
And that's the point, Vishad Yoga.
Great.
That's the meaning which some acharyas are trying to bring here. So, this is also one thing there.
Very new narrative of first chapter. Yeah. Excellent narrative with different acharyas' understanding on it. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for giving this insight. So let us get deep dive into chapter 2 in our second episode.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.